Broken gates, shattered headstones, and desecrated grave sites. Just the most recent troubles here at Woodlawn Celestial Gardens, a storied cemetery in Compton.
This is a huge historical landmark. A lot of American history is laid to rest here.
Among the 28,000 buried here, a baby named Jenny, who died in 1871. Antonia Ruiz, born in 1797, who lived in 3 centuries before dying in 1909 at 112 years old. There are also 17 soldiers who served in the Civil War.
This is an iconic plot of land here.
I was accustomed to hopping the gates. I think most family members here is accustomed to hopping the gates.
For Celestina Bishop, the history here at Woodlawn is deeply personal. She's been visiting for the past 47 years.
The only way I had my mother in my life was at Woodlawn.
Celestina's mom was Billy Collier. Collier was buried here in 1977 along with Celestina's 3 older sisters. All 4 were murdered in a rampage. Neighbors spoke out about the tragedy in a 2008 documentary.
The family had been murdered. The baby was walking around. She had survived.
That baby was Celestina. She was just 2 years old at the time. It would be 2 days before police were called to the scene. What they found alongside Celestina was utterly horrific.
I can remember seeing a policeman running outside the house. He was vomiting all over the place.
She appeared on the front page of the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner after being rescued by her grandmother, who she called Ma.
I was able to be raised by my ma, I call her Ma, from the age of 3 on up. So I did have the mother love. I just didn't have my mother's love.
That's why she's so connected to this piece of land. She feels her mother's presence.
This is her house, and this is where I've been coming all my life, to her house.
Since January, there's been an uptick in break-ins, thefts, and vandalism. As one of SoCal's oldest cemeteries, Woodlawn filled up decades ago. With no new burials, there's been limited income for upkeep. Loved ones have been reporting neglect for more than 25 years. 4 years ago, Celestina decided to take action.
I taught myself how to maintain and care for this cemetery.
And she's inspired others to join the effort.
Just showing respect.
Frank Wilson of Huntington Beach has dozens of relatives here.
That's over 40.
John P. Mize was Frank's great-grandfather.
He was born in 1860 and died in 1932.
Aisha Woods of Compton is another volunteer and frequent visitor.
My great-grandparents are here, my great-uncle, cousins as well.
Under California law, cemeteries left abandoned or neglected can lose their license. Then they can be sold or even turned over to cities, counties, or nonprofits. Now, when that happens, there is no requirement to maintain the property as a cemetery, meaning the remains can be relocated. But any move causing upheaval for families.
I've always knew this cemetery my whole life.
It's nice to come by and visit once in a while and say hello.
Growing up as a girl, you want to know where you come from, you want to know where you've been.
Celestina formed a nonprofit one section at a time, which took ownership of Woodlawn back in 2020.
She's put quite a bit of her money, time, and energy into maintaining this cemetery.
I have a spiritual connection.
But Celestina's success is far from guaranteed.
Not everyone supports me.
She suspects one motive for the recent vandalism is to frustrate her efforts so much that she walks away. And
I get attacked from family members as well. Hey, why I look like this? And I had to explain to them that I'm the only person doing it, and I'm volunteering, and I encourage them to volunteer too.
Celestina says the cemetery also needs a discount from the city on its water bill and more protection from law enforcement. The best way to make that happen, Councilmember Bauer says when people turn out, politicians take notice.
And I think it would speak volumes for the public to come up and offer Ms. Bishop some assistance.
In a perfect world, what happens next?
For me, this will be my final resting place. And for families, I want them to be able to come and visit their loved ones for generations to come.